Welcome back to Crime Besties, to episode number 74, our second of 2026. Here we are.
Yeah, we're here. We're doing this. It's great.
Oh my God, it's been a bit of a slog to get here. We've had dog issues, we've had computer issues.
Dog issues I get over because she's way too cute, so it's fine.
She's cute, but geez, she's been a bit annoying tonight. But anyway, that's okay.
It's all the trials and tribulations of having a puppy.
That's it. And producer Pete's decided to piss off to the soccer, and we've had to schedule this recording for at night time because it's bloody school holidays. So
be appreciative, people.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best. If you hear shit in the background,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
How dare producer Pete want to have a good time? I mean,
it's
seriously,
just rude. It's actually just really rude. Very, very rude. How's your week been?
Busy. I mean, it's school holidays. We have done everything these last few days.
I want to know
I've had
more.
like 3 full-on days of just full-on school holiday fun. We've had pools with water slides. We've had farm excursions. We've had, God, what else have we been doing? I've forgotten everything.
The Lotus.
Been the beach.
The Lotus
We went
Garden.
to the Lotus Gardens. Yes, that was great. Yeah, we've done all sorts of stuff. And golf, mini golf, all of it. Done both.
Love it.
Yeah. God, no, it's been a full-on few days of jam-packed fun and hilarity and losing children.
and exhaustion. The end of those days, you get home like, oh fuck, how do I do this?
Oh, I know. Yesterday was a huge day. I mean, I think picked up my little one from here after a sleepover as well. And headed off down to the beachway to go to a farm thing for the day, which I think we got here about 8:30 in the morning. And we get home until, God, it had to have been 7 o'clock at night. So,
that's a massive day.
Yeah.
I have to say though, he was awesome for the sleepover.
Great.
I reckon they were asleep by about 9, maybe 9:30.
Yeah.
But he slept. So I went to BFT yesterday morning. So I was up at 5:20, and Lucas heard me and he got up. I think he was so excited that Brody was here. And I'm like, mate, just try and be quiet and let
He was
Brody
still
sleep.
asleep?
Let Brody sleep as long as he can. I got home from BFT at 7:15. He was still asleep.
Oh, he was telling me all the details of your morning, of how Emma had been to BFT, and then Peter had cooked this, and then Peter had done this, and then Emma had done that, and like I got the full rundown.
Yeah, there's no secrets.
I know.
That was gorgeous. They had a lovely time, which is great. That's what school holidays are for. A bit of a
love each other sick, those two. It's just
cute,
so gorgeous.
Bit of a sleepover. It was really good. Now we've got a few things we really need to talk about before we get into today's case.
Yes.
First thing, the bones that were found on Phillip Island. Now we are recording this probably a week and a half before it comes out, so I'm hoping we'll know a little bit more by the time this episode comes out. But yesterday they found some bones when they were doing an excavation on a property in Phillip Island.
Plumbers, some tradies were doing some digging for some trenches, and lo and behold, found a human skull. I mean, how awful for the tradies to find. I mean,
it would have been awful.
Just terrible. But, oh my God, imagine if it is Vivian.
Imagine. I mean, it puts a decades-old, unsolved cold case
and I
to bed.
believe it's next week that Vicky Petraeus's book comes out.
It is.
Which is...
I mean, you'd be spewing, wouldn't you?
Well,
if there was resolution.
Yeah. There's going to be some sort of resolution to it all,
Yeah.
Oh, God,
It's definitely this month.
Yeah, I think it's the 28th. For some reason, I've got it in my head. I feel like I
feel like that's right.
The socials, it was 28th of Jan, it comes out. But, I mean, it'll pump sales up for a book, I think, probably either way. So, but she's been pushing this for a long time. I mean, she's been, so hopefully, I mean, for everyone, I mean, God, the family, I really hope there's answers. It's just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, could it mean somebody...
Or could something happen? Like, do you mean like in terms of prosecutions in the case? Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh, my God, we need to watch this space. Obviously, we will be.
I mean, look, it might turn out it's not even her remains. I mean...
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
But then who would it be? Like,
this is the thing. On the island, there's not...
another missing person
many
that I know
mysteries of down there of who would be missing down there. But, I mean, who knows? Someone could have taken someone down there. And because apparently the house was built in the mid-'80s, which lines up with it being potentially a building site around the 1986 timeline.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah.
And what a chance encounter.
Oh, God.
Like, I mean, you'd be spewing if you were the one who put the body there, wouldn't you? I mean, it's not funny, but
no,
geez,
it's not.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
That's exactly where they needed to dig a trench, was exactly where you bloody buried
honest
a
to
body.
God, if that's how they, like you get caught now because of it, you kind of just would have to be like, well,
try my best.
Try my best. I got this far.
I've had decades of
got to be a
not
point where
being
you
in
go,
prison.
this has all got to, like, this is for a reason. I was meant to get found out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
lie down and die, like, if that's the case. Like, don't fight it because...
Oh, for sure.
I mean, of course they do. Of course they do, because there wouldn't be that personality type to have done it in the first place. I guess that's where that comes into play.
Yes. Totally.
Which I guess we'll get into with this one as well today.
Oh, yeah. Look, we caught up during the week and I said to you, this is just an aside, but I said to you, how are you going with your research for this week's case? And you're like, we cannot talk.
We cannot talk. Because if I
start
talking...
Same. So we're like, okay, but it's so hard not to because it's like right in the forefront of our minds.
Totally.
But anyway, before we get into all of that, a few other things that we've had a pretty busy week as well, but we've actually got like a mental weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So tomorrow night we've got friends of ours, it's their 40th birthdays. Their birthdays are only a couple of days apart.
Right.
And it is a 90s themed dress up.
Oh, I love this.
Do you love a dress up party?
Oh, I hate dress up. You know that about me. But I love that for you.
I'm so excited. Peter and I are going as Mia Wallace and Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I love this. I need photos.
Oh, you'll get photos. We had to buy our wigs from Amazon.
Does Peter do a dress up that doesn't involve Star Wars?
Oh, yeah. You haven't seen him in the ostrich costume?
No, I have seen him in the ostrich costume.
He loves a dress up, that man.
Oh, I know he loves a dress up, but it's usually Star Wars themed.
That's true. That is actually very, very fair. Maybe I'll pop a photo in our Patreon feed with our dress up.
Peter love that.
Yeah, my mum and dad are going as well. So, but mum, I said to mum and dad, what are you guys going as? Mum's like, oh no, it's a surprise. I'm not letting you know. I'm like, why?
Why won't
just tell me?
Wouldn't it be funny if you both rocked up in the same...
Well, I've told her what we're going as, so they'd better fucking not.
That would be so funny.
They had better not.
I'd pay for that. That'd be gold.
I could imagine it, actually. I would hate it.
Do it, Lynn. Do it.
Anyway, we'll see. I'm really excited to see what other people are wearing. I'm really curious.
Yes.
Other friends of ours are going as the two main characters from Jurassic Park. We've got some people who are wearing band t-shirts. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a bit of a mix, I think.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Some people go all out and others just, mild.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Band t-shirt sounds like the way to go for me.
I feel like you'd be a band t-shirt or some kind of a Seinfeld t-shirt or something like that.
Off to the side.
Yeah.
Kind of, Actually, it's funny you mentioned Seinfeld. I was out at a restaurant recently and in the background was a TV with Seinfeld on it. And I said to my boys, one day we are watching every one of those.
Before I met Peter, I'd only watched the odd episode of Seinfeld. I know.
What?
I know. But when we first started going out, he's like, no. You have to watch this. So we had the DVD box set. Yeah. And I fucking love it. It's so good. It is so good.
Every character is just...
perfection. Absolute perfection. Speaking of which, do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I haven't been watching it. I haven't watched recently.
Oh my God. So if you're a Seinfeld fan and you haven't watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, you really have to. It's so funny. So Larry David, who's the co-creator of Seinfeld, he is in and co-created and produces Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's so fucking
It is
funny. Oh
very
my
funny.
God.
Yeah.
The things he gets himself into. I just love it. It's very, very good.
Oh,
very good. We've got some shout outs for today.
We do. We have many.
So many. So we had a few coffees bought for us by Jill Street and Sue Brennan. And then Jill also joined our Patreon this week.
Wow.
So thank you, Jill. We also had Mia791, Karen Urbanchich, I hope that's how I say your name properly, Melanie O'Connor and Brie Cowley, all new Patreons. So
welcome.
Thank you to every one of you. Every time I get a notification that we've got a new Patreon, I still go, oh my God. It's just so lovely that people are supporting us in that way, and it is truly appreciated, as is, commenting on our things, liking, all of that sort of stuff. every little bit helps and we really appreciate it. I did see a message that came through. I actually didn't write down who it was from, but somebody was like, oh, I told my friend about your podcast, and I'm like, yes, please, more of that. That would be great.
Yep.
The more people we can get this out to, the better.
That's it. Absolutely. No, it's absolutely going great. Can't wait for, I think by this point we'll have had 2 episodes out for the year with this episode. So we'll probably be, kicking off again for the year, but I'm sure we'll get some new listeners now as we're getting back into it as well. So welcome to anyone who's new to Patreon or just listening to the regular feed. You're all very welcome here, and we're so happy to be here.
We love it. We absolutely love doing it. So thank you for joining us. It certainly means that at least we're not producing a podcast just for our families to listen to.
Yeah, a bit like our TikTok at the moment.
Yeah. It's so fucking sad.
Please come and join me.
Is so sad.
It's because it was so big. I think
so
that was
massive.
why I'm struggling now. It's I feel like there's echoes every time I send out a post.
It's like cricket every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're doing amazing.
So
you
come
are
and
doing
join us
amazing
over on
shit
TikTok.
over there. It's 2.crime.besties.
Yes. That's it. You'll find us over there. We're still just plugging away the same stuff that we've, not same stuff as in the new stuff that's coming out, but the same sort of style of things that we're sending out with some new bits and pieces this year. I'm getting a bit more of a handle on the socials.
I actually saw your thing where you were where you put out the video of us, how many words we say that are repeated, and was it absolutely?
Yeah, absolutely. Just my head in.
It's so bad. And so
adding to it.
Loved it.
So
very,
good.
very well done.
Oh wow. Yep. So we'll keep going with TikTok, and unless it completely dies in the ass, and then we'll just focus on Instagram. Because that's where it's really at. Let's be honest.
That's it. All right, let's get into today's case because we've been baffling on too long.
Oh, I've had a few of those comments. I love those. Someone jumped in the comments on Spotify and backed us and go into the how rude.
Don't you be so rude. Just scroll through it. Yeah. So thank you for your support.
For that. I love that.
Yes.
I know. We sometimes see those comments and kind of go, I just let it go, whatever, who cares? And then some days I'm feeling a little spicy and I might write back.
I love it. Yeah. I sent you a message when I saw that you'd responded to that comment and I was like, that was the perfect response.
It's probably really nice, but in my head it wasn't.
It came off really nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, fuck off, basically.
Fuck off. Fuck off. If you don't like us, that's fine. Don't have to comment. Just don't listen anymore. No. All right. Sherri Papini.
Yes.
This is a massive one.
It's huge.
I'm sure most people who are listening to this based on the title of the podcast anyway may have a bit of an idea of Sherri. But
unless you're like me and was living under a rock, I don't know how I missed this one.
This blows my mind that you didn't really know anything about it.
It's got to be I don't know. Well, it's pre-COVID. I don't know. Maybe I was, do you know what it was? I reckon it might have been just I was in the depths of horror child probably when this was all blowing up.
Yep.
I reckon that's probably what it was.
You had no capacity for literally anything else.
No, that's probably what that was.
All right. So Sherri Louise Graff was born on the 11th of June in 1982 in Mount Shasta, California. Her parents are named Loretta and Richard Graff. They are interesting in and of themselves, but we will absolutely get into that.
Yep.
Sherri was the younger of 2 children to them. Her older sister's name is Sheila, and she has a little bit to do with this story as well, but I'm sure we'll talk to her involvement and her opinions in all of this a little bit later too.
Yeah.
But look, Sherri's childhood, it's really hard to say because I think we need to preface this entire podcast by saying nobody fucking knows the truth because there is so much out there and Sherri lies all the time. I'm sure her parents lie. I'm sure her ex-husband has lied. I think there is not one person in this podcast who I'm like, in the research that I've done for this, where I'm like, I 100% believe you, except for that FBI agent.
Oh, yep, she's gold.
I love her.
Yes.
I absolutely love her.
Yes.
But we will get to her.
We'll get to her. But yes, I completely agree. Yep.
So according to Sherri, she had a lot of trauma in her childhood. First of all, she said she came from a home that had a lot of drug abuse and alcohol abuse and all of the myriad of issues that come along with that.
Yeah, and friends of hers corroborated that story in terms of that was what the narrative was at the time as well, not just as an adult. She was reflecting back on that, going, oh, yeah, this is actually what went on in my household. Because, I mean, that sort of thing can go on without people knowing.
Absolutely.
Behind closed doors.
True.
So this wasn't even it wasn't something that was, like later on reflected on and spoken about. Friends from back in her childhood said that that's what was spoken about or what was inferred.
Do we know
back then? We still don't know definitively if it was true, though.
And also, do we know, like, there were no witnesses to it? So it's more, even back then.
No.
I don't know that they're able to even corroborate that, because her parents say...
No. There was just this idea of, like, friends saying, like, yeah, she'd come to our house and felt loved there because we basically knew that she wasn't getting
that at home.
own home, which that was their perspective of what the situation was, but they didn't know what that was that was going on in the house.
That's exactly what
I guess what I'm trying to get at.
Well.
These was topics that were around her from childhood, but what the facts of what was going on, who knows?
Yeah. I think also we should probably say right now, just before I get into my next sort of little bit, is that there are two documentaries that really have very opposing... somewhat opposing opinions.
Somewhat, yeah.
About this case.
Yeah.
And the first one is called Perfect Wife, and it's more from the perspective of Sherri's then husband.
Yeah.
And then the second one, that came out in 2024. The second one came out in 2025. And that is, what's that one called?
Oh.
It's
like Caught in a Lie.
Caught in a Lie.
Caught in a
That's
Lie.
what it's called.
Yep.
Well done.
Yep.
And that's got Sherri in it. And
Yes.
it's a lot of things are from her perspective, although there's a lot of challenge to what she has to say too.
Yeah.
So it's not one-sided by any stretch of the imagination.
I think there was like people went into it with an idea of what perspective they wanted to come at it with, but information kept coming out that maybe didn't align with how they thought it would.
Yeah, that's
Maybe?
very, very fair. In the Perfect Wife documentary, she says, so it is reported by a friend of hers that she ran away. So Richard, her dad, reported that she ran away from home at about the age of 16.
Yeah.
And she was like couch hopping, and, that was
the lifestyle she led from there.
That's exactly right. Now, Sherri says that that's because she was sexually assaulted and she clearly states in the Caught in the Lie documentary that it's not her mum or dad who sexually assaulted her.
But someone that knew the family.
Somebody in the family.
Very, unfortunately, the way it goes.
Common.
Yeah.
And that caused her to sort of be really unsettled. She was already from what she claims to be a fairly unsettled home anyway because of the drug and alcohol abuse that was going on in the home. And so from quite a young age, like 16, that is a formative time especially in a young girl's life.
Yeah.
It is for anyone, girl or boy. But she didn't have or wasn't creating for herself a stable home life. As in, she wasn't at home to be getting what she needed from her parents, whether they were capable of giving her that or not, we don't know.
So she was relying on like meeting men to have somewhere to stay or having partners, that she would then go and live with or friends that she would make. And I get the vibe. To survive living like that and being on your own from 16, you would need to be quite savvy and then therefore potentially manipulative to find a way to stay at someone's house.
Does this get you though already? Because so already you say that and I sort of like, I kind of cringe at that because I'm like, she did have a home where she was, okay, let's just say we'll believe the story that her parents were drug and alcohol abusers.
Yeah.
They never abused the girls in that they were never physically harmful towards them. Okay, it may have created an unstable home in some ways. Maybe there was a lack of nurturing or whatever. But the way she portrays it is that she had no choice but to get out. Now, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're in that kind of if you think that's a volatile situation, yes, you would need to get out.
Yeah.
But then the way her parents explained the situation is that everything was kind of okay and she would have been fine staying there. I don't know. Of course they would have said that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something like you can't like make a call on. It's so hard.
And I feel like that in so many things with this case. It's so hard to make a call.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we know is that in 2017, because there was so much reporting into what happened and, lies and all of this sort of stuff started coming out, Newspapers were going deep on this and they were looking into her background. And what they found is that 13 years before her disappearance, her family had made multiple 911 calls regarding her behaviour. Mm-hmm. So her dad accused Sherri of vandalising their home. He said she did something to the letterbox or something.
Okay.
And she was like ruining things at their house. And she also then in 2003 apparently made a withdrawal from his bank account without him knowing or without him authorising it.
Yeah, right.
And so he wanted to press charges for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's
there's a lot no history prior to us getting to where we
incredibly problematic
this real story.
That's right, incredibly problematic behaviour.
Yeah.
In 2006, she met and married a guy who was in the military.
Yeah.
So she married him for convenience. She told him that she had a heart murmur due to too many egg donations.
Okay.
And I don't think that's ever been corroborated that she actually ever donated her eggs.
Oh God.
I tried to find it. The only thing I could find when I was looking into this, because this is one of my rabbit holes.
So many rabbit holes.
This was one of the ones that I was like, surely they could if you were donating your eggs.
Yeah.
The clinic that you donated them to would be able to give evidence to show that you had donated your eggs. That is a complex procedure.
You'd think.
No one's been able to corroborate that.
I don't think that happened then.
And then I also couldn't find, if you donate your eggs, what was the issue with your heart then? I don't know. I, again, couldn't find, like, even the trigger hormones, none of that being related to a heart murmur.
No. I mean, I have a heart condition. I've done IVF.
Yeah.
Heart condition was never really linked between the two.
Mentioned. And I couldn't find any, because I was like, maybe I just don't know. I just don't know about this. I couldn't find any information to show
none of the medications that I was taking would interact poorly with my heart. No, that does not ring a bell.
So do you not think that's so fucking weird?
Yeah.
So she's married this bloke, right?
Yeah.
He was on deployment.
Yeah.
And so for the majority of their marriage, I think they spent 2 nights together in the house that he owned in wherever they were at the time. I think it was in, it's like still in California.
Yeah.
And then he was on deployment. She went and visited him once when he was in Japan on deployment. And that was it. Like, it
was a little bit of an arrangement, wasn't it, the marriage?
Absolutely.
It was not like...
It was for her to get some kind of treatment, medication, I don't know, for her heart.
It wasn't really that, we're in love, we're getting married. That was not the whole premise of it.
In fact, he said something along the lines of when they broke up, it was very mutual. Like, they were both...
And they stayed friends for a while and stayed in touch.
To break it off.
It was just like... It was mutually agreeable to be married for some reasons. Like, it meant that he had someone to kind of come home to when he wasn't on deployment, and it meant that she got certain health benefits. Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, it wasn't like we're in love.
No, it wasn't at all. They both actually say that. Yeah. While he was on his final deployment, while they were married, she met Keith. Yes. So Keith would then go on to become her second husband. Yeah. Now, so this was at the time where she was like, we need to divorce. And the first husband was like, yep, no worries, that's fine. Yeah. And immediately, Keith and Sherri were inseparable.
Yeah. It was deep or real quick.
Very, very quick.
Yeah.
Very, very quick. They got married and they went on to have 2 children. So they had an older boy and a younger girl. And these children, you know, you look at photos of them as a family and you think, oh,
a perfect family.
Perfect family. Like Keith and Sherri, they're attractive
people.
Like fit, young, healthy. They look, you know, they kind of glow in all their photos. And
the tagline attached to Sherri around the town was that she was super mum. She was in everything, planned everything. You know, she was there for her kids, like 100%.
Did everything.
Yeah.
When Violet was young, Sherri was let go from her job at AT&T and was given a fairly substantial payout. It was enough money that she was able to get her boobs done.
That's right.
And that she was able to actually take a fairly extended time off from paid work in order to be with her kids. Although...
Yeah.
They were still in childcare. Mm-hmm. So from all of the reports I've seen, and look, forensic accountants have been through these people's financials to the nth degree, so I believe this to be true. But the money that she got from her payout, breast surgery, breast augmentation, and childcare fees. Yep. So while she wasn't working, the kids were still in daycare every day.
Well, it's hard to know with stories and things, but Keith has sort of said, you know, like he was on her case a little bit about like, come on, like maybe you should go back to work, because he was a bit miffed at the thought that they're spending that money on childcare when really she's staying home. Like, shouldn't she be looking after the children? You know, and if you're going to put them in daycare, then like maybe go and get another job, and then we can do other things financially as
with
well.
That money.
With that money, like So he vocally has said it wasn't an arrangement they were mutually happy about for how she was managing her time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fair statement. I mean, in that Perfect Wife documentary, he basically says that, doesn't he? He wasn't. And I actually fully get that.
I do too. I'll be fully honest, I really don't understand putting your kids in care. I mean, I understand if you're going to the gym and you want to put them in the creche while you're at the gym, or
totally.
You know, that sort of stuff. But like going and putting them in daycare from early hours in the morning till evening.
Well, she used to pick them up at like 4:45 p.m. or something.
Yeah, and you're not working and you don't do other stuff.
What are you doing all day?
Well, you know, other than like, you know, maybe going for exercise or things. How many things are there that you need to do that you cannot do with your children with you?
Put them in for 2 days and do your grocery shopping and all your chores on one day and have a day to yourself on the other day.
I'm not against people having time to themselves. I'm not saying that. I mean, like, if that's, but as a family, like, you need income.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put them in care every day and not actually. But this is the thing, it was all about show, because there was this whole persona that she was the world's greatest mum and that she was active with the kids all the time and always doing these fun and craft things with her kids. But in reality, she'd do that for a short portion of the day and make sure that it was caught on camera or seen by other people.
See, this is the thing that gets me, and it gives me like 8 Passengers vibes.
Yes.
Right? Because she would post a lot on social media and it would be like these beautiful, not even beautiful. It was oftentimes the stuff that she posted on social media was like candid photos of the kids, doing crafts and when she's like taking a selfie in the background.
They're singing and they're playing games at home and she's, you know,
I find, and I'm going to use this word a lot, I think, in this podcast, she is very performative.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to you about the documentaries.
I know, I'm just like, bite my tongue.
But let's just get through the background stuff.
Background stuff.
So the other thing that is definitely worth noting before we get into our discussions is the fact that Sherri Keith had asked Sherri sign a postnuptial agreement.
But the reason for that being, and it was post-nup, as you just said, not previously to getting married. As the early days of their marriage, within the first couple of years or something it was, he discovered that she was messaging and communicating with men or a man.
No, it was men.
It was multiple, wasn't it? I sort of said that and went, there
was one main
particular one,
but it was multiple.
There were multiples. Yep. So he got, and I don't blame him, annoyed with that. That's not okay if this is how this is going to go. So to protect himself as well in this situation, he decided that they should do a postnuptial agreement and make it so that if their marriage broke down due to her stepping out of the marriage, if that was she promised him that she'd stop doing that and it wouldn't happen again. Well, if that's the case, then you're really going to stick to that. Then there won't be an issue, because that if our marriage breaks down due to you stepping out of the marriage, like it would have to be proven that there was adultery involved, that then she would not get anything. And I think this was pre-kids, but they wrote into it even custody of children, I believe.
I believe that's correct.
It did go pretty far.
Yep. But it meant she got literally nothing, even like half the house. No. She signed away otherwise every right that she would have. Yeah. Right?
Now, I don't know if it's in Australia, in America as it is here, the same in terms of like for a prenuptial agreement, we don't call them that here, binding financial agreements, we call them here in Australia. But for those sorts of things, you need separate legal advice. And I don't know if that's the case in the United States as to whether or not that's how that works. I don't know. But surely she got her own legal advice in that moment to have that paperwork signed.
I honestly don't believe she did.
See, that's the thing that gets me then is like they're far more binding in America than they are here. There's always ways around them, I feel like, in Australia. But ours, you have to have, separate counsel. Whereas if that's not the case in the States, then that's really weird because to me then you can just claim that you haven't had enough.
What kind of lawyer would say to their client, yep, sign that? Like, that's what makes me think she didn't have any...
But I also can believe that she would be someone who'd be like, of course, and lying, saying, I would never cheat on you. Like, of course I'll sign that.
That's what I'm saying.
And in her own mind, convincing herself, this isn't going to affect me.
100%.
Because she manipulates herself the same amount as she manipulates other people.
Oh, it's so fucked.
But
anyway, so to that end, it's just worth noting that
that's in place.
That's in place.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Are we now at the date?
I think so.
Okay. So November the 2nd, 2016.
Yeah.
Sherri is out.
She drops the kids off at daycare.
Yep, that's
as
fair.
usual.
Keith goes off to work at his job. And often Keith would actually come home for lunch. Yep. And apparently, so according to Keith, and I believe these text messages are corroborated. I mean, this isn't really a point of contention, but Sherri messaged him to say, "Are you coming home for lunch?" And he was
lunchtime.
A bit of a lunchtime fancy.
Apparently, that's what she says.
Seriously, I haven't. Where did you see that?
Oh, yeah, no, she said that in her police interview.
Oh, she wanted a bit of rompy pompy at lunchtime.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to the police interview and we'll talk about it then.
Well, I've got you've got to tell me now. I want to know.
Oh, because after all this, she gets interviewed with the police. It's like one of the first interviews she does. And the way she's like all giddy and like being silly and flirty with the police officer, basically like saying like, it seems silly now, but I was, messaging my husband asking him to come home to have sex with me at lunchtime. And
I literally have not heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really gross. I watched it kind of going, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
You're trying to tell everyone you're traumatized, but now you're like flirtatiously kind of giggly schoolgirl over asking your husband to come home to bang you at lunchtime. Like, you're a grown adult. Like, you're allowed to do that. Yeah. And if that's what happened on that day, then say that.
Salacious.
No, there's nothing salacious about that. That's great. Good for you. Like, but it's really, really off-putting the way she does it in the midst of her like trying to force tears.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Far out.
It's in the Perfect Wife documentary.
But I've watched that. I just don't. How can I not remember it? Anyway,
real weird.
But basically, Keith was busy at work or something. Didn't see her message. He then finishes his day at work and he gets home. Now, when he gets home, Sherri's car's in the driveway. Her wallet and other personal items are at home. Her handbag.
Her phone. Yeah, her phone's
car,
not with her.
Yep. Oh, aside from her phone. That's correct. And he thinks to himself, maybe, because normally she would pick the kids up at about 4:45 so that they're home in time for when Keith gets home from work. Yeah. And she's like, he thought maybe she's run an errand or something. But weird, the car's not there. I wonder what time she picked up the kids from daycare. So he rings the daycare and the daycare are like, oh, what do you mean? She hasn't actually picked them up yet. They're still here. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, fuck. So he goes on to the Find My Phone app. Find My Phone, an iPhone. Yeah. And he can see that Sherri's phone is basically at the corner of the road that they live on and the Oregon Trail. Like a running track, basically. Yeah. So he's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to go down there. He goes down there, sees her phone about 10 meters or so off the track. Mm-hmm. Now, this is interesting in and of itself. Yeah. She's got an iPhone. She's got the cable with the earbuds. They're kind of like wrapped around the phone, the earbuds, curled up on the phone. The phone's
kind of
face
feeling
up.
Neatly, almost.
Very neat. It looks really neat. You can Google
photos.
You can Google the photos.
That got me as well. So Keith, as soon as he saw them sitting there, he took a photo of them.
I would have too.
Yeah, I
would have too.
At first, when I heard it, I was like, what? Wouldn't you just go and pick it up?
No. Okay. I would have done that too because I'd be like, she's missing. I need to show the police that this is exactly how I found them.
The other interesting thing was there was also like her blonde hair. You could see a chunk of it almost clearly wound up in this as well.
Yeah.
So there was a fair bit of hair. Like I'm not talking like
Oh, you can see it in the photo, guys. Go and Google the photo.
Obvious
we'll have
there's
it on
hair.
our socials.
Yeah.
There's hair there, and it's long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Sherri was blonde.
Yeah.
Okay, so he then freaks out.
Calls the cops.
Calls
911.
911. And he says to the police, or he says to the 911 operator, something along the lines of, I don't know what's going on. My wife is missing.
Yeah.
She's, and he says...
She's like, because she was out for a jog.
She was out...
But
she
would do...
And he's like, she's gotten back into running recently.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's where she used to run, was
Yeah.
along that trail, completely fair.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've called the kids' daycare. She hasn't picked them up. And... he sounds quite panicked in that phone call.
I think it's a very, I mean, as we've said on many occasions, like, those 911 calls and stuff, it's hard, you don't want to judge people by them, but I think it's a pretty stock standard of like a husband sort of doing the whole, like, I don't know how concerned I need to be, but I think I'm concerned.
Yeah,
like,
that's the vibe.
And it's kind of him being a bit, he's kind of almost detail a little bit too much, like kind of stuff at the same time, because I think he's kind of like almost trying to talk himself out of needing to call.
It's like he wants them to go, oh, you didn't need to call us. And he's a bit sheepish about it or something.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Yeah, but basically what he does then is, so the police are like, okay, we need to respond to this.
Yeah.
He did pick up her phone. He then called his mum to go and pick up the kids from daycare. So that's all taken care of. The kids are taken care of. And he then starts, like, I'm assuming he's had a bit of a look around, can't find any trace of her. He's then interviewed by the police because, I mean, we all know that generally speaking, the police start with the people closest to you and work their way out. And of course, like, even some when I've heard that 911 call, a few things he says in that, I'm like, oh, if you were guilty, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll admit that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
because I think he even says in it, I took a photo of her phone that I found it, and that was the fact that it was in the 911 call that he said that. That I think that was why I kind of went, it's an odd thing to say, like on the 911 call.
Yeah. But then I think you're right in that he was just trying to give all the details so that they knew it all because he was so concerned.
He was like, what? This is all weird.
This is all weird. Really fucking weird.
Yes.
But basically, what we know is that Sherri didn't come home that day.
No.
She didn't come home for 22 days.
They did it immediately. The police saw this scene and the fact they still couldn't find her. They did all they would need. They normally do. It very clearly was she's missing.
Missing.
There is something wrong here.
Yeah.
It was very much treated that way, that there was someone at risk here.
Yeah.
What that was, they weren't certain of. But they were clearly marking this as at risk, that somebody has gone missing.
I think they acted very quickly, all things considered,
did.
because everything kind of added up to the fact that potentially foul play was involved here. Because, as we said, her car was there. She would normally, she was super mum. She would always pick her kids up from daycare and cook dinner and all of those things, and neighbours, friends, everyone who was notified about this, no one could believe that she would leave her children.
Yeah, that was the thing that got everyone a little bit, was the fact that, she wouldn't just ditch her kids kind of stuff. So that was weird to the outside community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's missing at this point. No one knows where she is. The searches can start real fast, which, I mean, to their credit, they were, onto it. But not only that, Keith, very early on, he said in an interview with the police, he was like, I've been told by friends I should be demanding the FBI be here now. And the way he says it, I kind of do the whole, I don't know, it checked out for me that he's being a bit I'm probably meant to be really forceful here with you.
I fully agree, because you can actually see that footage in that documentary.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been told that I need to say to you that I need to demand that the FBI are involved in this.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with him on that.
Yep.
Because people would have been saying that to him.
Yes.
Because who knows where she is.
And then he doesn't want to go into these cops that, he's prime suspect and he knows that, at this point, that they've got to rule him out. He knows, whether he's guilty or not. But I think he knew, he was being looked at, of course. So you don't want to look like you're doing something that's going to make them look at you more. But he also was like, I want to do the right thing here and speak up.
Yeah.
But I've also got to keep these people on side and not piss them off, because these are the people who are going to help me find her. So it's, trying to work out how you go around demanding something off of people that are there to help you. I think I got that kind of like nervous vibe from him.
I'm with you 100% on that.
Very
But also,
valid reasons.
Can you imagine as a spouse to be in that situation and being like, fuck, we need the fucking FBI to look for my spouse. Like, I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be in his shoes at that time.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So, you know,
you're being looked at, through a magnifying glass, but you've also want to do everything you need to do.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is really hard because you're being looked at differently.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So basically, this is another thing. Okay. So Keith also, in the days that follow, there is an absolute groundswell of support for finding Sherri.
Yeah.
Now, I think we probably need to introduce here the fact that she is a slim, blonde, beautiful white woman. And she's incredibly photogenic, and I think that means something in this.
Well, let's say this is how much it means in this. Someone else went missing in the same similar area at this time, and I couldn't find anything else much about that story because this took over.
Yep.
Yep.
It's mind-blowing, but look, for whatever that all is, there was so much out there. Within hours, it was on local TV.
Yeah.
Within not many more hours, it was on national TV, and the following day it was international news.
Yeah.
Everybody knew the name Sherri, aside from
Except
Meg.
for me.
Knew the name Sherri Papini, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it on the news as well and thinking, oh, how does a mum just go missing?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I know this shit happens all day, every day. Like, it's not unusual. But the fact that it's in your face, okay, so that's going on. Now, 22 days later, on Thanksgiving Day, which was the 24th of November.
4:30 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day, really early hours in the morning. Yep.
She was still wearing restraints. She was dropped on the I-5 in Yolo County, which was about 240 kilometres from where she disappeared. And she's running around like a mad person trying to flag down a car. Now, several cars drove past her. Now,
there's video footage of her too through a church car park. You can see it. You can't make her out, but you can see they've lined it up with timings and things that it's her, but you can't make out that it's specifically
she's kind of
her.
just running through
but
a car
she's running. Now, that's important.
It is important.
That she's running at a fair pace across this camera, like across the car park, sort of the top of the car park. You can see her. It's relevant.
And you can actually see that she's restrained in that as well, because the way she's sort of running.
I don't reckon.
Well.
She's running very easily in that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, this is actually really funny. So a few people go past and call 911, having passed her, not having stopped, which I totally understand. Especially there was a mum and her daughter who were driving along, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't stop either if I was a woman on my own. I totally get that. But then this truck driver stops and he rings 911 and he's like, I've found this woman and her name is Sherri Papini.
Papini.
And she's like, it's Papini. I bet she gets that all the time. I mean, a panini's a delicious sandwich.
It's very good.
I don't mind a panini.
But he also says though, something about her boyfriend dropped her off. And then she's like, no. I was abducted.
And then the 911 operator then is like, oh.
Yeah.
Can I talk to her? Because I reckon you can sort of feel the cogs turning there. Oh my God, this is Sherri Papini.
Yeah.
Gets on, and then Sherri gets on the phone and she's distraught. And, she's, she's basically like, oh my God, I've just been dropped here. And the 911 operator says, do you know where you are? She's like, no, I don't know where I am. I've got no idea, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, they dispatch ambulance, police to her location. She is then taken to a local hospital initially for an initial assessment because she is bound. There's chains around her waist.
She's got a broken nose. She's a burn on her forearm. She's got bruising and ligature marks on her wrists and ankles, which probably from the binding is guess what that's inferring. The chain around her waist, sorry. She's got significant weight loss. She's like emaciated completely.
She basically weighed, I think regularly she was something like 60 kilos.
She's only a little frame anyway.
Little. She weighed something like 47 kilos. Like there was nothing of her. And you see photos of her back especially, and you can see like her spine. It's like she was emaciated.
She was tiny.
She was tiny.
The most significant injury that she had was she was branded on her right shoulder, which you can make out is the word Exodus. And I think 612 under it. Yeah. Yeah, which is really very unusual. Mm-hmm. Sort of, I mean, branding is something that if you watch Yellowstone like I do.
Oh, I fucking love Yellowstone.
That's like it's ownership. That's your...
Yeah, that's right. You brand a cow. Yeah. You brand cattle because they belong to you.
Yeah. And I mean, in this area, there was known to be some sex trafficking issues. There was some drug cartel issues, not being, southern sort of California there was some sort of stuff like that going on. So there was, I guess, some indication that maybe it was something to do with that, that someone was branding her to be then sold in a sex trafficking scenario.
Did you hear what her mum said about that?
Oh, the mum. Sorry, wait till we get there.
God. But I'm just going to say this now because it's relevant.
Yeah.
Her mum basically said, we knew she probably wasn't kidnapped. She was probably sex trafficked because she was actually really gorgeous.
Really beautiful.
She was really beautiful.
I know. When that was said, I was like,
I cringed.
Yes, so did I.
Literally, I had a physical reaction to that. How did you, oh my God.
How did you think that was okay to say that?
Weird thing to say.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know.
That family. My God, the family. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, so very, very significant injuries she had. And the bruising was, you could sort of see they were yellowing and bluing and, different
they're at various stages of healing.
So, 22 days, it's 3 weeks. It's a lot of time. And
she also had her hair kind of hacked.
Yeah, it was hacked.
So she had very, very long blonde hair and it was kind of hacked to, it wasn't cut neatly, but above her shoulder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, when they originally transferred her from that hospital that she first went to a bigger tertiary hospital to take care of her because they didn't really know the full extent of her injuries, and they wanted to do a rape kit as well to see whether there'd been any sexual assault. So they did that, and it came back that there was no sexual assault. There were no indicators at all of sexual assault. There was no semen found. There was no trauma, nothing like that. So the police were like, right, we need to interview her while things are still fresh. It's still very early days. We understand that, but we really need to get an initial statement at the very least.
Yes.
She refuses to talk to the police.
And the police, except for her, if Keith was going to be there?
No, she refused even then. So the police said to Keith, if you take a recorder in, can you talk to her about what happened without us being there?
Okay.
And he agreed to that. And Sherri knew that was going on. And so Keith's taken this recording device. This is still in the hospital. And has gone and essentially interviewed her. He asks some very directed questions, which I would want to know those things too. So I completely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But she gives him a very sort of stilted version of events. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that she says is that she was abducted by 2 Hispanic women who kept their faces hidden by masks, and basically they tortured her. They withheld food from her. They kept her locked in a closet if she didn't do what they wanted. They branded her. And they told her that they were going to sell her to a police officer and that nobody would ever find out about it because this police officer was going to cover it all up. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So in amongst all of this, Keith is still very active in the media.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, in this scenario, media are your best friend when they're missing and your worst enemy in these moments where you want your privacy. And I think that from what I can gather, Keith is someone who also, along with his wife, likes to have people believe that everything is
a certain thing. Yep.
Great and sunshine and roses and things. So I think he wanted to keep everything neat and tidy, you know, like everything was said that needed to be said and nothing was maybe misconstrued or I don't know. I think he had an agenda in terms of...
Do you mean he was controlling the narrative?
Yeah, I do. I think he was trying to in some way protect her but also protect himself and their persona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of that going on of like, how do I manage this situation? Now it's kind of like I've let the cat out of the bag of like, you know, the media are here, they're everywhere and I need to appease that. I can't be rude to them now. It's like now that'll come off a certain way, whereas probably entertaining it also can come off a way that he didn't think about.
To me it's weird.
Yeah.
I think if your wife's been through this incredible trauma and you're giving your time to, and I'm not talking one or two different media organisations. I am talking multiple, like tens.
Yeah, I mean, the FBI, the lady that we spoke about earlier, she directed him and said, "You need to stop."
Yeah,
like and don't.
That's enough.
That's enough because everyone wanted a piece of him and wanted a piece of Sherri at the time, and they were like, "You need to stop this because we need to actually do an investigation. That you can't keep doing that because we need to sort of tighten things up now. That, I mean, this is not what we expected the outcome to be.
No,
so." Yeah, I think it's a really interesting position to be in.
Can I just ask you as well what your thoughts are, whether there was any financial motivation behind any of this?
I think that there was certainly, you know, to an aspect of it of that he was, looking out for himself and that in that sense
for
too.
sure, because all of these media organisations paid him for his time.
Yeah, they would definitely been offering money. Yeah,
yeah.
And I mean, you look, you know, you're going to have bills to pay, like everyone does. I don't know. I can understand it, but I can also go like that's a bit gross as well. I get both sides of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a difficult one.
There is just something about him that really rubs me the wrong way.
I do agree with you,
and that makes me go, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this?
I think it's more about
it's not altruistic. Persona. It's about controlling the narrative.
Yeah,
and I think for him, control was the most important thing.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
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 So 24th of November 2016 is when she was released by her captor.
Yeah.
By the time 2017 comes around, which is only a couple of months later, investigators are starting to piece together.
They were already from the get-go. People, while she was missing, were like kind of going, this is sus. There were little bits here and there going, well, a lot of pointing at Keith, a lot of, you know, like, he seems sus, but also that the whole scenario, especially when she turned up, I mean, there was a lot of bits out there in the media and that of people kind of going and in the circles of the investigative team kind of going, this doesn't really add up. Yeah. It was there. It was sprinklings.
Yeah. I think so the FBI got involved pretty much straight away.
Yeah, with Keith's
approval or wanting of that.
Yeah.
And they said there were so many things immediately to them that seemed suspicious. The first thing was the placement of the phone.
Yeah.
And that just looked staged to them.
Like who winds that up and then puts it down? Like,
even Keith said it looked weird in one of his interviews. He fully admitted that.
Yeah.
But the FBI also start to note inconsistencies in her stories. And I'm not just talking about, I mean, she changed her story so many times, but she would also leave things out when she recounted her story. Like in one interview with the police, a formal interview with the police, she stated that these two Hispanic women made her wear an adult diaper. She never mentioned that again in any other interview. There were a lot of things like that came to the fore. The other thing that the FBI noted was the fact that it's really rare for two women to kidnap a woman and for there to be no man involved.
No.
Because according to Sherri, what happened during those 22 days is that these two Hispanic women, one was younger, one was older. The younger one had, I believe she had curly hair, thin eyebrows. The older one had thick eyebrows and long straight hair. They wore face masks, so she wasn't able to give much detail about really the way that they looked. she also said that they played that awful Mexican music. Hello. Fuck off.
There's a whole issue with her description of the people.
Have you seen the stuff about when she was in...
Yeah.
I think it was in high school.
In high school. So supposedly... Well, okay. She claims she didn't write this. She claims that someone was bullying her and did it to get her in trouble, like, make her look bad. However, there's no way I'm sorry.
No.
I
don't buy that for one second.
But according to her, someone else wrote this and posted it on skinheads.com.
In a chat room or something.
It's basically ramblings of absolute pure, racist crap. Saying that basically Latinos were targeting her and her dad, particularly around when she'd go to sports because she was really good at sports, and that these couple of Latino girls would call her dad Hitler and that call them Nazis and all these sorts of things. But it gets quite violent at times. And when you read this document, there's quite a bit in there that, weirdly enough, is what happened to her when she was kidnapped by two Hispanic women.
Yeah, it's disgusting to me.
But the thing that gets me then, because what she's saying, keeps trying to say, oh, but I'm not racist. Ugh. But
if you have to say I'm not racist, if you have to defend yourself, I'm just what's prompted people to say that? Yeah, seriously,
without putting too much in it. But there's so much in her story of what these are quotes from her statements of things that she describes that her kidnapper's music was that really annoying Mexican music, mariachi.
I fucking love mariachi music. Now, I did live in Mexico as a child, but however,
yeah. But it's the way she speaks.
It's the way she talks about it.
It does really give you that indication of things. She says they fed her tortillas and rice, some kind of meat, I couldn't discern what one, black beans and overall crap, leftover crap. That tasted horrible. She's just really stomping on anything that's Mexican themed. Yeah. They ate off cheap paper plates. They spoke mostly Spanish, but she heard something about gambling, which apparently they were kind enough to speak in English about.
What the fuck? And I believe, again, she only ever mentioned that once in one interview.
She also made mention of their knockoff shoes and their big hoop earrings. I mean, how stereotypical and how, you know what I mean? It's really
it's gross.
Real biased, real racist, to be honest.
Yeah.
She talked about their look as well in terms of their over-tweezed eyebrows on one of them, and that their car smelt really bad, like sewage.
Yeah.
She really, I mean, of course you're not going to speak nicely of your kidnappers. I completely get that. But the way she really spoke about them was just, I don't know. I feel like it was more about the fact that these were Hispanic people that she was trying to...
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So instead of speaking to your captor as a bad person, she spoke about them based on their race.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not okay.
No, which I mean, I think it all just adds up, especially when you link the stuff in what she wrote. It's quite a lengthy piece that she posted on that site. Allegedly.
But that also wasn't a one-off.
No, it wasn't at all. There was many occasions of things, but there's lots of stuff mentioned about how she had broken one of their noses. That's what happened here. Yeah. There was links between what was spoken about in this document, which I think was posted, as you say, when she was in high school. That has been brought up then in this 2016 incident, that links that you go, well, if you didn't write it, somehow you've connected the two.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really, and yeah, it's specifically targeted at two Latinos in this whole article that she wrote.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, supposedly didn't write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
The
other thing is that, sorry, I forgot to mention before, when she was in hospital, they took her clothes. So when she went missing, she was actually wearing jogging clothes. She was wearing activewear. When she was found on the side of the road, she was wearing a grey sweatsuit, but she was wearing the same undies that she disappeared in. She claims that her two Hispanic captors allowed her to wash her underwear when they allowed her, on the odd occasion that they allowed her to have a shower. And that's why she was wearing them again. And they gave her the clothes. She didn't know what happened to the clothes that she disappeared in. Now, the FBI at the time took her clothes. They took them away for DNA testing. and they put the DNA that they found into CODIS. They found male DNA, which was interesting because she said she
There's
only
no
ever...
males there,
according to her, there was only ever 2 females.
They ruled out immediately that DNA did not link to Keith.
Yep, 100%.
That was
didn't link to Keith.
Yep,
that's right. And his story was very strongly corroborated in terms of the fact that he was at work that whole time that he was
certainly seen on the media within those 22 days plenty of times. So.
That's right, exactly. So we know that what Keith did. We know what Keith did. In that time.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, that's not in contention.
Nothing linking him to what went on really, him taking any part in this.
When the FBI put the DNA into CODIS, it came back with nothing, no hits. So there was nobody with a criminal record certainly had committed this crime that they knew of.
No.
But the interesting thing is that I think it was in 2020.
Yeah, it took quite some time for them to get to a different point with the DNA.
That's right. They decided they were constantly putting the DNA whenever they had time, I guess, into the genealogy websites and seeing whether they got a hit.
Started getting more and more use.
This was around the time that the
Golden State Killer
crime was solved through a genealogy website. So they did the same thing, and they got a hit. And what they found was that the DNA found on the tracksuit matched a family member of one of Sherri's ex-boyfriends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, familiar DNA. So
familial
it wasn't
DNA. So it was a family member of James.
Family member. Yeah.
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 So of course they go. This is unbeknownst to Sherri at this point. They go and interview this ex-boyfriend of hers named James. And he lived in Costa Mesa in California.
Yeah.
And
well, should we just take one little step back before we go into that apartment? Only in the fact that in all of this time, like they're interviewing slowly, they get more information out of her, and part of that information that she gives that is consistent is the room that she was in.
That's a very good point.
There's particular stuff she says about that room. One being a coffee table that was in the room.
And it's quite a distinctive coffee table.
Yeah, this is the thing. She does describe this coffee table as having like this fake marble top or whatever. And to the point where Keith is, and I get this entirely, he's at a point of like, if she's been kidnapped, like, do they know where we live? Are our kids safe? Is she safe? Are they going to come back? Like, I can understand that fully. So he's like, absolutely. I want these people found and I want this, sorted. So he was always like trying to get more out of her. But yeah, so he even found like a picture on the web on the searching on Google for images and kind of found a table that she went, yeah, like that one. It's kind of like that. That he then gave to the FBI and said, she says it looks a bit like this.
He actually contacted the FBI so many times. Yeah. Every time Sherri would remember something or give something that he didn't know, he would tell the FBI.
Yeah. The other thing that she described was the rooms itself in terms of being the fact that she was, had this waist, chain around her.
With a padlock.
Which was then linked to the wardrobe. And the wardrobe had this very interesting setup of like some shelving at the top where there was a pole that went through, and that her chain was on a
like anchored to that.
Yep. And that she was attached to that basically the entire time, other than when she was allowed to use the bathroom. And
although she did say in one of her interviews that she used a kitty litter box in the wardrobe.
There was like a bucket. There was like a
with
bucket thing
in
the that's what she reckoned anyway. But yeah.
But again, I think that was only in one interview she said that.
Yeah.
She forgot about that detail in subsequent interviews, allegedly.
And then there was this bed, and there was these boarded up windows, all these things. So when they rock up at this James's house, when you go into the bedroom there, those things are tick, tick, tick. She was accurate. And it was actually actually part of what led them to James was that they were looking into him when they found this familiar DNA and kind of went, well, okay, that could be then she actually knows this person in that family. Could it be him? They looked at his Facebook profile, and I think it was even his profile picture. Yeah. There was a photo of him on like a beanbag leaning back, and in the very corner of the photo is a coffee table with this marble-like top.
Yep.
And so, they look at that and kind of go, well, hey, wait, this has got to be the blight. It's an ex-boyfriend of hers, known to her, and he's got the same coffee table she's described.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, we'll get to it later.
No, go.
Oh, I don't know. At this point, are the cops thinking to themselves, yeah, this guy has kidnapped her and done all this?
But honestly, I think at the time the cops are like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I think that I don't think they were like, oh, we've nailed this.
Yeah, we've got it.
We've got him. We're going to nail him. Yeah, I think it was more, what the
She's
fuck
been hanging
is
out with
actually going
with
on
her
here?
ex-boyfriend, not being abducted.
Now, in all of this as well, it's the other thing is that the FBI were forensically looking into everything to do with their lives.
Yeah.
Now, that would be so violating, but it is what it is. But what they did, they've gone through all of their financial documents. They've gone through all of Sherri's phone.
Well, yeah.
And what they found was that Sherri had been conversing with two people who were in her phone under women's names who were actually men.
Yep.
Now, the FBI went out and interviewed these men, and Sherri had been engaging in, I'm going to call it an emotional affair with both.
Yeah.
She hadn't met up with one, but she had met up with the other, so who knows what happened in those rendezvous, I'm not sure.
So this stuff that was happening at the start of their relationship that caused Keith to... Up. You know, in some ways we can look at and kind of go, act a little irrationally and put in this post-nup agreement in place, but you kind of go, well, hang on a second.
It was continuing. Yeah, it was still going on.
Yeah.
But the police ruled those two people out. But they
How awful would that be, though? Like, your wife's missing and the cops are pulling you in to have conversations around things, and they've just had to disclose to him of like, so she's been like having these conversations. Do you know who these people are? Do you know what this would be about?
You can see that interview on one of the documentaries. He's interviewed.
Awful.
And they're like, do you realise that she's got... They're
multiple?
under women's names, but they're actually men she's been talking to, and he's like, what? What?
Like, how? That's so like fuck with your brain stuff of like, you're desperate to find the mother of your children and your wife, the person you love, and then you find out things about them that you go, this is like...
but I feel like Keith fully compartmentalizes that at the time, which fair.
Full credit to him if he could do it. Like that.
If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do, because all he cared about, I think, at that time was just finding Sherri and finding her alive, which is fine. So anyway, the police are interviewing James now, having ruled out these other two ex-acquaintances of Sherri's.
Yeah, but also with the DNA.
That's right. So James basically, his interview with the FBI and the police went
very
for
interesting
hours and hours and
I think
hours.
It's the FBI agent that says, like, you know, at this point we were like 2 years in with Sherri and really clutching at small amounts of information. Like barely getting much out of her, and consistencies. Within an hour, we got a full proper story out of him.
Basically. So when they first started the interview, and again, you can see this online, or you can actually see parts of it in the documentary as well.
Yeah.
But he basically is like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, we know you're involved with this because your DNA has come up on things. And then he's like, right, well, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So James's version of events is that Sherri was incredibly unhappy in her marriage and that Keith was abusive towards her. And she'd reached out to him because she wanted some respite from all of it.
In his words, she was a friend in need.
Yep.
I'll be there for her. And friends who knew them as a couple at the time said, you know, we always knew he was someone who would do anything for her.
Well, she obviously knew that.
And this is it.
So what he says is that they arranged for him to pick her up.
They used burner phones, the two of them.
Oh, that's a good point too.
Which he says, I mean, he does not hold back. And the FBI clearly say he was credible in his interview.
Yep.
And stated that on Sherri's directive, they got got phones that weren't their regular phones.
Because obviously Keith was suspicious of Sherri.
Yeah, because
he would have potentially checked her phone, checked for messages.
Yeah.
She knew that.
Yeah, so she used that to say to him, like, you know, let's get different, you know, phones that we're not being checked up on. And so through that they were communicating. Like beginning there was, and because the FBI said they could see messages on her other phone from him, but then it kind of went quiet, building up to the eventual disappearance. So, there's a point where she was like, let's switch to these burner phones.
Yeah, so according to James, he'd actually lost his license at the time, so he was unable to get a car.
Yeah.
And so one of his co-workers rented a car for him and he drove, I believe it was like how many hours? It was multiple
9 hours.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It was a long drive, yeah.
To get her. So he lived in California, but very southern California, whereas she lived far more north in Redding. And he was in Costa Mesa at the time.
Yeah.
And so he's rented this car, driven up, picked her up. She has gone in the back seat and laid down for the entire trip home. And apparently, according to him, she slept the whole way home. He is exhausted, having just completed what would be an 18-hour round trip. Mm-hmm. They get back to his house and she insists that he board up the windows.
Yep.
And
he just did everything she told him to.
He just did it all. Now, this I find bizarre. I don't know about you, but what he claims is that all of the injuries that Sherri sustained were because she asked him to either do them on her or she did them to herself. Now, he says that she starved herself and that's how she lost such a significant amount of weight.
He said he would
in
offer her food and she would just say, no, I don't want to eat.
She asked him, according to him, she asked him to hit her in the face with a hockey stick.
Yep.
That's what broke her nose.
Mm-hmm.
She bashed her head into the coffee table at some point of her own volition.
Yep.
She asked him to go to some hardware store to get the items with which to brand her.
Did you see in the Caught in a Lie documentary in the section where she pulls out her kit of that at home?
It's exactly.
She's like doing it as like to try and get sympathy and saying like, I just can't do this anymore. So it used to be my love, a bit of a passion. I would do this, but now I can't after what James did to me. Fuck me. No, you knew what you were doing by, getting that equipment because you knew how it worked.
Yeah.
It blew my mind that she thought that people would see that as a not connected, that how would he know to go and get that equipment?
100%.
Oh, we used to talk about how he used to love doing that and he knew that.
So she was saying in that documentary that she'd make coasters for people with their initials on it.
For Christmas gifts and things. Which I'm sure she did because that's who she was.
Yeah.
And then she was basically saying that,
looks
because
good.
Yeah. Because she was saying then that her and James would talk about that she made those and that then he had the idea to go and buy that and brand her. No. She was like, I've got this kit at home. I do this with wood. Do that to me on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's exactly how that went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it's so fucked up.
Totally.
So then, according to James, on Thanksgiving morning, she said to him, the night before Thanksgiving, she said to him, I really miss my kids. I need to get back to my kids. And so they got in the car and she asked him to shackle her with the chains around her waist, and
he said, apparently he said she put them on herself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, she put them on herself, and that's why, like, when you see that footage of her running along the church car park, they're not actually on properly yet. She waits to put them on where she doesn't have to run anymore and where she can.
Oh, that's interesting because
it looks like she's been dumped there.
I actually thought in that footage though she is running a bit weird.
Nah, she's not.
Is it because she's holding the chains? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not actually that she's bound.
Yeah, there's kind of people sort of look at it and go, yeah, there's not her legs. When she's found, like the way she's like bound in that when she's actually found, she couldn't have run like she ran.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many holes to her story.
Yeah.
But what Sherri claims happened in those 22 days. So her story obviously changes. So the FBI then confront Sherri.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I love that interview.
And they did so well. Those cops did a brilliant job in that interview.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
They had Keith and Sherri in the room, which I love that. The way the reasoning for doing that is seeing if there's any communication between the two of them that indicates anything to really rule out if Keith knew of any of this, if this was a
were they trying to get money?
Were they trying to get
fame
media attention, whatever? So that was going to rule that out or confirm it, but also put her in this massive hot seat. And wow, it was good police work. That I really thought that was really good.
Agreed. So they basically say to Sherri, thank you so much for coming in. We've got some information for you. You're just letting you know you're not under arrest. You're free to leave at any time. But basically, we know that you've done this. Basically, they
the
say
DNA's come back.
The DNA's come back. We know about James, and she's like, what? And you can almost, in that video, even though it's like CCTV, you can see the cogs turning, can't you? She's like, how the fuck am I going to spin this?
Because the first thing that she's doing, that fucking shit's get out of her.
I know what you're about to say.
Cannot stand the way she sits in this fetal position. Like, it just does my head in. And it's something that when you watch videos of her prior to her being abducted, this is not a trauma response from what happened to her. This is something she had done forever, that she makes herself look tiny and petite and fragile.
Okay.
And she's not.
Well, no.
No.
So basically, this is actually so funny. It really reminds me of there's a podcast that I used to listen to, and it was about it was a Mamma Mia podcast, and anyway, they used to talk about different celebrities and stuff, and they talk about Ariana Grande doing this, like trying to be little, like how her bodyguard always carries her like she's a baby, like she's an infant, and you can find photos of Ariana Grande online with that, and you're like, oh fucking hell, and I'm like, this is fucking Sherri Papini all over again. Like she tries to make herself look infantile. It's bizarre, and you're right. It's not since this apparent or alleged trauma. No. This is that way back.
Yeah. It's a manipulative tactic that she uses.
People though say, her supporters say, that this was probably a response to when she was sexually assaulted as a minor.
I don't disagree with that.
Yep.
But it is a manipulative thing of like, it's like trying to get people's sympathy.
Yeah.
I'm little. I'm
vulnerable. I'm actually. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. She's freaking just beating the shit out of herself, and branded herself. That's not a wuss.
She didn't brand herself. She convinced someone else to brand her.
But she's allowed herself to be branded. Anyone who wants to go through that has chosen to go through that.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I'm sorry.
See, this is where I'm like, oh, what kind of culpability does James have in this? Because.
Absolutely. It does floor me a bit.
He should be, in my opinion, he needs to be charged with assault.
Well, it's hard because it is what they're saying
is consensual.
She consented to these things.
But how can you consent to being physically assaulted?
She did.
I know according to him she did.
I know, yeah. And that was the thing the police said. In that first initial interview, right, if she had sat there and said, right, I'm confessing now, yes, it was James that abducted me and he did these things to me. If she had done that in that interview, they would have then looked further into James and potentially the charges would have gone there. But that's not what she did.
No.
That's not what she did. So therefore they know that it's all lies.
So what Sherri says once they call her out on all this, she's like, no, it wasn't James. It wasn't James.
Yeah.
Meaning... she's trying to say to the police and the FBI that she can't believe that James was involved in this. It was still the two Hispanic women.
Yeah, she's still doubling down on that.
But I can't believe James was behind that.
Yeah, and they're like, no.
No,
that's not what happened.
We know there were no.
They outright say it to her. James, we've spoken to James. He's told us you told him to do these things to you.
Now, 3 days before they pulled her in to tell her this, they made James, they asked James to undertake a polygraph.
Yep.
He passed that polygraph with flying colours.
Yeah. No issues.
There was not
about it.
One issue.
Yeah. One of the particular questions he passed was, did Sherri ask you to brand her? And he said yes. And there was no indicators that he was lying in that.
Yeah. There were so many questions.
Yeah, there's heaps of them. But in particular, he was directly asked that one.
For a long time.
Yeah.
So the police and the FBI are like, right, we've got her. They doubles.
Yeah, they took a long time before the next steps, though. They wanted to get, they cross their T's and dot their I's big time to go any further with it.
She fucking doubles down on it, doesn't she?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so basically what happens then is over that course of, how many years was that?
Another 2 years.
Another 2 years.
Yeah, it wasn't until March 2022.
Fucking hell.
That they actually arrested her.
Yeah, so, but in that time, she's had enough time, obviously, to think about this think about what her story is going to be. And what she says is that she was going for a run that day, that she was kidnapped, in air quote. She claims that she'd been in contact with James, but she didn't know he was coming up to see her. She says
or did she know that he was coming up, but she wanted to end it with him or something? Or
no? Oh, she did say at one point. She said so many different stories. She actually did say that at one point that she wanted to break up with him face to face.
Because what she was just basically saying is, eventually, she says she didn't want to say that James was involved because she was having an emotional affair with him.
Yeah,
and that she didn't want Keith to find out about that because of the post-nuptial
That's
agreement.
right. A post-nup, sorry.
So, yeah, she was saying that she was going to end it with him, and he arrived and pulled up. Like, they were going to meet up or something, and then he appeared at the car at that corner.
I think her story was that she didn't know he was coming that day.
That day, yeah. I think she was on the jog kind of knowing that she was going to catch up with him and planning to end it.
But why would you be jogging? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But basically what she says is that he got her into the car, drugged her.
Yep.
She opened her eyes at one point and didn't really know where she was, but it was daylight, and then she couldn't keep her eyes open anymore, and then the next time she opened her eyes, she was at his house.
Yeah.
9 hours away.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Many, many hours away.
Yeah.
And that he kept her captive. He starved her. He beat her.
We didn't starve her, apparently, because she said the first meal he gave her, it had drugs in it. And so then from then on, she wouldn't eat anything that he gave her, was what she said.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, no, he was drugging me, and so I didn't want to eat any of the food. Yeah.
Yes, he hit her with a hockey stick. Yes, he branded her. She does say that he didn't sexually assault her.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting.
Yeah.
And what she says is... So the other thing, actually, just before we get to this as well, is before all this happened, she did composite sketches of these two Hispanic women.
Yep.
Now, in her explanation of how this all unfolded, she said that the older of the two women she based on an image of James's mum. Now, the FBI had a private investigator who was looking into all of this from a PI perspective.
Yep.
And what the private investigator found was that James's mum wasn't Hispanic. She was actually Irish.
Yeah.
Redheaded.
Yeah. Didn't look anything like that.
Pale-skinned. And then didn't look Hispanic at all.
When they put that to her in the doco, and she's just like, oh, I don't know. I'd only met her twice anyway.
Now, if I could meet somebody for 3 seconds and be like, you're not Hispanic. You're a redheaded
Irish person. But that to me says that she actually, when she's met this person, has not absorbed any information about them because they don't mean anything to her. To me, it says so much about her.
But she actually says that even in the documentary. She's like, oh, well, it didn't. It was his mum. But I'm talking about James.
Yeah.
And it was
he was your boyfriend for like
12
months at some point.
Yep.
Like, she's so self-absorbed.
That
she hasn't even noticed what his parents look like.
No.
Like, it makes her such an awful human being.
She's such an awful human. She is an awful human.
Yeah. No, I
regardless
can't stand
of anything.
Yeah.
She is an awful human. I can't stand... So in the documentary, the one that she did, the
Caught in a Lie
documentary.
Yeah.
There is not one moment, even though that documentary, I think she thinks people are going to be sympathetic to her. There is not one moment in that documentary that I'm like, oh, you poor thing. I'm like, you fucking... First of all, she's a fucking lunatic.
She really is.
She's a total fucking lunatic.
Oh,
I know that's like a non-PC thing to say.
You shouldn't say that about people, but
she is like so fucked up.
Yeah. Oh,
she does not live in reality.
No. To the point of like at the end of it.
What about the bit at the very, very start of that documentary?
The very start.
Where she's like, she does this thing and she's like, oh, that's my magic wand. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And she's like, I'm going to say ridiculous things because this whole situation is ridiculous.
Oh, she's just awful.
She's awful. She's so awful.
Oh, God. What did she say that at the opening line of it of like, you know, this is my chance to say hi, I'm Sherri Papini, and you haven't met me or some bullshit.
Yeah, you don't even know me.
Yeah, we do. Oh, I got your number.
I think we know everything we actually fucking need to know about you.
Ever want to meet someone like you in my life.
Her need for attention, sympathy, and external validation blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. Well, so in that same documentary, they bring in her psychologist, her actual psychologist.
This is so fucked up. Go on.
Oh, my God. So now I have a real thing on this that, okay, psychologists, if you need a psychologist, you go to a psychologist. I 100%. Have a lot of, support for that.
Yep.
However, if you genuinely need a psychologist, sometimes you're not going to like what that psychologist has to say to you.
And this is why I think some people don't continue because
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's hard to hear what they have to say.
You're going to get told.
Yep.
So I do find that generally these people who really need some psychology and some treatment tend to maybe shop around and find a psychologist who's going to tell them what they want to hear.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know, maybe that this has maybe happened here.
And who did Sherri land on?
Well, so I won't go into his credentials and who he is, to be honest, because
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, he has decided that he thinks that she has a disorder by the name of self-defeating personality disorder. He talks about this extensively in that documentary. Now, it's also known as, masochistic personality disorder. Now, this disorder, first of all, I'll tell you what it is. Okay. So the definition of it is that it describes a pervasive pattern of engaging in self-sabotaging behaviours that undermine one's own happiness, success and goals, often by avoiding pleasure, choosing painful situations, rejecting help or sacrificing for others, even when it causes personal distress. Though it's no longer
it's not in the DSM-5.
It's not in the DSM-5.
Nope.
And neither is masochistic personality disorder. Neither of them are in the DSM-5.
Doesn't he then say that she's got some kind of histrionic personality disorder?
That one, yes. Tick.
Yes.
So in that same documentary, there's another psychologist. She's very well known and very well respected, right? And they even throughout, I don't know really why they put her in there because she's basically the whole time going, I really can't help you here because she's a whole piece of work. And she talks about the possibility of histrionic personality disorder. This one I do agree with.
Yeah,
he does mention it, but I'm sorry, the whole self-defeating personality disorder.
Oh, fuck off.
It is so nice and lovely and, the poor thing. Sorry. Self-sabotaging, not in the way that describes it. Histrionic personality disorder, on the other hand, is a mental condition marked by excessive emotional and pervasive need for attention, causing dramatic, flirtatious and often shallow behaviour that makes maintaining authentic relationships difficult. People with HPD feel uncomfortable when not the centre of attention, use physical appearance to draw attention, to draw focus, express emotions rapidly and superficially, and treatment is usually long-term, and is quite often goes hand in hand with narcissistic and borderline personality disorder.
100%. I mean, armchair psychologist over here or psychiatrist over here, 100%.
I'm sorry.
She ticks every friggin' box.
Oh, my God.
Every friggin' box.
Even this one where it says it talks about the fact they often have vague speech. So their speech is often impressionistic, lacking in detail, and overly dramatic.
Oh, my God. So I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
She never fucking answers a question directly.
No, especially if it's one that's going to get her out.
Yeah.
The way she doesn't even answer the question.
And she'll literally change the subject and answer something different.
Yeah.
And then the interviewer says to her, oh, wait a minute. No, you
didn't
this
understand
is what
that.
Yeah. And
No,
she still doesn't understand. She still doesn't answer it. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is Keith's sister.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that.
Okay, so Keith's sister is Sherri's sister-in-law. Now, Keith's sister says that she and Keith aren't all that close.
Yeah.
Sherri and her sister-in-law are close. Sherri, the sister-in-law...
Only after this all went down.
The sister-in-law, though, is a counsellor and is counselling Sherri.
She's also a marriage counsellor.
She also let Sherri into her home and live with her.
Yep.
After the shit hit the fan with Keith, after Keith found out that...
Well, no, after she was let out of
prison.
No, sorry. No, between. Sorry, between.
Yeah.
When she was arrested, but Keith was like, I'm out.
Yep.
And before she went to jail.
Yep.
Sorry, is when she lived with her sister, with the sister-in-law.
Yeah. So... Yeah, once Keith found out that all this shit had gone down with James, they separated.
Actually, I think it was the day she was arrested in March 2022.
Yep.
He separated from her that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
100% fair.
Well,
he also filed for
full custody,
sole custody, and was granted sole custody because his ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife was about to go into prison.
Well, that and I mean, I'm sorry, but these behaviours are very, very problematic. And there's other things that get brought up with that which we can discuss of whether or not we believe that and what that ill is. But she's got some interesting mental health issues, I think, that need to be addressed around whether or not she's suitable to be around her children.
Definitely. So we've kind of jumped ahead a little bit here. So she was arrested.
Yeah.
She was charged. Now, what have I got here? She was charged with, I've got it written down.
I changed my page, sorry.
Same.
Oh, my God.
Oh, same.
She was charged with making false statements to federal agents and mail fraud, which is about the fact that what she claimed was compensation money. So there was two different types of compensation money, one from local services and one federally. So there was services for her for the psychologists and all those sorts of things that she was having, which, a victim of crime like that, they deserve.
Should be getting it.
Getting some funding for all that. And there was also some other money they were given, that she was given about sort of getting her back on her feet, sort of and helping her out.
Well,
she
couldn't work and it was about maintaining their life.
There was two buckets of money that she had accessed for compensation.
Yeah.
So the fact that she'd accepted them and then falsely, as they sort of found, that becomes mail fraud.
That's it.
Yeah.
So she pled guilty in April of 2022 to those charges and admitted that the kidnapping was fabricated.
Yes.
And she was sentenced in September of that year to 18 months in federal prison and then 3 years of supervised release. And she had to pay back $300,000 US dollars in restitution.
Yeah.
She ended up serving 6 months, was it?
10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously during the time that she was in prison, Keith filed for divorce and filed for the sole custody of their children, and he was granted both of those things. Their assets were divided in that time.
Well, no, they weren't, because there was the postnuptial agreement. So she got nothing.
Oh, well, yeah. What I mean, sorry, I didn't mean divided. What I meant was the assets were settled. Because she ended up getting absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So he had it pretty much signed, sealed and delivered in terms of that aspect.
Yeah.
And the custody of the children. So that's where that sort of landed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She had some contact with the children after she was released from prison. So she was
only visitation rights once a month.
Yeah, and one phone call a week, I think
so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But that was at Keith's discretion, so it didn't always happen from what I can gather.
Yeah, right.
Well, that, again.
To this day, she is battling that one still out in the courts in terms of custody. So that's still a see what happens from here.
I believe her children are teens now.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're going to get to an age where they can make their own decisions on that, which she will claim, I'm sure she is already, claiming that they've been sort of poisoned by their father against her. I know immediately she has, when that original documentary came out, which is 2024, she filed a suit against Keith being able to show the children that documentary because she felt that it showed her in a poor light.
It's prejudicial.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's something that, I mean, she's going to have to live with, I think.
Do you think it's bizarre that he allowed those children to be in that documentary?
Absolutely going to go there.
So tell me what you think.
She brings it up, and that's probably the only thing in that entire caught in a lie documentary that I agree with you, Sherri.
Yeah.
I don't like that he put their faces and even their names. I mean, their names are probably out there, but
their names are out there.
Yeah, they're out there. But I personally don't think that children should be named or filmed in those things, in those scenarios. I think that we need to protect them in every way possible. Even in that documentary, he talks about the fact that he's spoken with his kids around changing their names. Yeah. And I'm like, if you've spoken to them to the extent of that we might change our names to have some anonymity. Oh my God. What time is it?
It's late.
Anonymity.
We don't normally record at night.
If he's that fearful of them having protection around that and changing their name, why are you putting their faces in a worldwide documentary.
100%.
That doesn't make sense to me.
But see, this is what makes me think with him, he gives me the creeps as well.
Yeah, there's something not quite.
There's something not quite right about him.
Yeah.
I believe that he was controlling.
Yeah.
You can actually see that from certain behaviours that...
But at the same time, and I don't mean to like protect anyone who's controlling, but if your partner who you're in love with and you're like, I want this perfect life, is doing things that you can't control, like having conversations with men outside the relationship and lying about things to the extent of what Sherri was doing, to the point where they had gone to like a gathering with friends, and inadvertently, in playing a Wii game, he had knocked her in the face and given her a black eye, right? She was telling people who weren't at that party that Keith had hit her.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the personality trait of the person you're living with, I can understand that feel of need for control. Like, in that of like, how do I make this all better? How do I make it right?
But he still had a hand in the way, like, he really wanted the portrayal of him being in this perfect family.
This is it.
Sherri looked the part.
Yes.
And so I think he's not completely innocent.
No. There's definitely
either.
Totally. There's keeping up appearances, and then there's this level of it.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I can understand to a degree his controlling nature.
Yes.
In dealing with someone with that personality.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Like, what else was he going to do?
Yeah.
Like, he had to
control aspects of things to
in
try
order
and
to
like
maintain some kind of, I don't know,
normality
accuracy or whatever. Yeah, no, I do understand what you're saying. I think
we can judge him maybe poorly. Yeah, I don't know. She would send you batty, I reckon.
Oh fuck! Wouldn't she though? Like, just even
what's the truth?
Watching the Caught in a Lie documentary, you're like, oh my god, she is just next level.
I feel like she would gaslight you all day long, and that would send you a bit batty. And I think that's where I feel for that sense of control from him, of like wanting to kind of go, no, that's not how this is. Like, I'm going to do it this way. Like, that's, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but so going back to the sister-in-law.
Oh yes.
Okay, so she is a marriage counsellor, right? She was counselling a particular married couple by the name of Sean Hibden, and I've just lost his wife's name at the time. And they were on the verge of divorcing. Mm-hmm. Weirdly enough, his wife did pass away in 2022. 2022, sorry. Yeah. From COVID. It was some really, weird circumstances around her death. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know what I think of it. I don't know.
I haven't looked. Look, I've very superficially looked into this because I mean, you couldn't not. But her name's Brittany.
Brittany, thank you.
Sorry, it just came to my head then. But
yeah, it's just too weird that
it's weird.
She dies of COVID like 2 years after COVID's a thing.
Yeah.
As a young, healthy, vaccinated, all woman. Those things. Yep. I just kind of, and everyone said she was fine up until a certain point, and all these sorts of things. And he wasn't really overly concerned about her, and I don't know. There was lots of little niggly bits about it that didn't add up. Mm-hmm. And many people do believe that maybe he had something. He also has a nursing background. That was the other thing.
Yep.
That red flagged it.
Yep.
And so maybe knew what things could be done. Anyway, so anyway, this random person who's having counselling with Sherri's sister-in-law, all of a sudden he's in a relationship with Sherri and buys her a $775,000 home to live in.
Well, so she says that he's just allowing her to stay there.
Well, they've broken up now.
Oh. And does she still live in the home?
She's trying to.
Yeah, of course she is.
Basically, what's happened...
He's so fucking problematic. She's problematic. They fucking deserve each other.
Oh, my God, yeah. So he's filed an eviction case where...
So this is the house in the Caught in a Lie documentary.
Yes.
This is the house that she's interviewing.
She says, my friend's allowing me to live here.
My friend's letting me live here.
Yeah. So, so he's trying to evict her. Now, it's unclear as to whether or not she's actually living in it currently or whether, and because this court case is playing out. But basically, so he's claiming that she needs to get the hell out, and she's declaring that she needs to stay there. So
because he bought the house for her.
Yeah. So he's just trying to publicly humiliate me or and face. So this is where it gets me. Okay, this is what really gets me there. So this is exactly her words. That Hibden has made threats, both implied and explicit, that unless I purchase the home under specific unfavourable terms, I will be evicted, publicly humiliated, or face further harm to my personal financial well-being. It's like victim
Every time. She's always the victim. She's always the victim.
Yeah. So the house is in Shingleton, and he's basically claiming that she owes him $115 a day in rent. So anyway, but the other one in a similar vein, in that her mother-in-law loaned her some money against for some criminal defence attorneys, and that was about $50,000 that she loaned her, and she hasn't paid her back. So Kathleen Papini, Keith's mum, ended up taking her to court on that, and she lost. So, I mean, as in Sherri lost. So she has been told to pay back $53,701 to Kathleen, which I don't believe she's paid back yet either.
I couldn't find any evidence to the fact that she'd even begun to pay that back. But she also hasn't paid back the $300,000 that she owes the state.
No. She's also the subject of another court case where she's seeking a temporary restraining order against a woman who claims on her GoFundMe account that her husband left her for Sherri Papini. So the woman, Catherine Parrick, said that she was left homeless after her husband left her. And Parrick has raised over $1,300 towards her $3,500 on her GoFundMe account, and Sherri is suing her.
For how much?
I don't know.
Didn't say.
Didn't say. Oh no, sorry, she's not suing her. She's seeking for a temporary restraining order against her, so that she pulls down the GoFundMe. So Papini's a bit of a lunatic. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think she's forever going to be in a cycle of drama.
Yeah,
because she wants that.
She wants the drama. I think I really urge people to watch the Caught in a Lie documentary, because I think she thinks she's coming across in a way that she's actually, to me, she's not coming across as. No,
and you get a glimpse of it at the end where she questions like the interviewer of like, well, do you think I'm coming off differently to how I think I am? Kind of, is this not going to be good for me? Which you don't hear
the answer.
Which is really interesting, because obviously she's starting to twig to the fact a little bit of like, oh, like you mean that the rest of the people who've spoken here have not spoken well of me.
But also because the interviewer catches her out and challenges her so many times. But then she says to the interviewer, when she gets caught out, she says to the interviewer, what, you've never lied? Tell me you've never lied.
No, I've never lied about being kidnapped. And
like everyone tells white lies, but this is like...
This isn't to that level.
This isn't that.
No,
that's not the same thing. You can't tell me that that's the same thing. Fuck off.
The fact that she thinks that's the same thing is really, really wrong.
So wrong.
That's where she's just so wrong.
She's so deluded.
Oh, God. Then there's the comment from the mum in the documentary, in that Caught in a Lie documentary. Now, the parents are sat in that and interviewed properly. When you see them in the other documentary, you don't see much of them and they're kind of non-existent. But in that next one, they sit, because she lives with them for a period of time as well.
After she's released from prison, until she lives in the boyfriend's house.
But she's like mended the relationship with them and all these things, and they're fabulous people. Oh, bullshit. And they look so different in that interview too than what they did in the other one. Anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The mum makes a comment in that documentary where she says she wasn't kidnapped. And what she thinks happened was that she's been caught in this lie. And she fully says it. She says the quiet bit out loud. And the thing is, she goes on the Vile Files, though, Sherri, and she's questioned on there about it. And she's like, oh, no, if you ask my mum about that now, she'll tell you a different story, because she was misquoted.
She wasn't misquoted.
It was really clear.
It was very clear what she was saying.
Yeah. That she believes that you lied about being kidnapped. Yeah. And it wasn't a kidnapping.
Yeah.
She just wanted to spend time with her boyfriend.
Yeah. Quite literally. Yeah. And I think her mum's fucking nailed it on the head there.
The other one that she gets caught out in that documentary is about what she does with her phone when she gets kidnapped too. So when originally when she was picked up and they went through what happened, her original story that she stuck to for quite some time was that when these two Hispanic women came at her, she was like, I want Keith to find me. So I threw my phone down knowing that he would find that and ripped some of my hair out.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so threw it down is what she said. And that was the story she told of that right through.
Yep.
On that documentary, she says, oh, yeah, well, no, when James got there and I wasn't expecting him to be there, I put my phone down.
Yes.
And then I got in the car or whatever. Or she can't remember how she got in the car.
Yeah.
And they said to her, oh, so when did you take the hair out then?
Yeah.
And she went, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She didn't remember to add that detail.
That she'd said that.
Not only said that, but there's the evidence of it. Is the hair is there.
Yep.
And the number of times the interviewer asks her about it to try and get the information, and she cannot fix what she said because it didn't. She did it the way I reckon she did it the way she said it.
Yes.
Originally.
Agreed.
In her staging of it.
Yes.
But now it doesn't fit the reality of what.
Oh, her new reality.
Her new story of
her
what's
new
happened.
Story. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, there's so much to this story. It is fucking unbelievable. A couple of other things that I just wanted to note.
Yeah.
When she was naming the two women, these are just funny little tidbits.
Oh, God,
right?
I didn't hear this.
So she called them one Taint. One was supposedly named Taint.
That's what she heard her being called, supposedly?
And the other one, Smegma. Do you know what smegma is?
Smegma.
It's secretions from your downstairs area. So one was smegma and one was taint. The other thing...
Again, that goes back to that.
Oh, it's...
awfully racist crap, I think.
100%.
She's really got an
She's
issue.
disgusting.
She really is.
Absolutely disgusting. And then the other fun fact is that Eminem references the kidnapping of Sherri Papini in Houdini. So the line is...
Yeah.
Caught sleeping and see the kidnapping never did happen, no. Like Sherri Papini, Harry Houdini, I vanish into thin air as I'm leaving.
It's like Eminem was here.
He was all over it. Yeah, fuck off. I was imagine if I tried to actually rap. Like,
I'll
Jesus
get
Christ.
Brody and he can do it.
Yeah. You would have given me way more shit if I'd actually tried to rap that.
I 100% would have. People would have been disappointed if I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So that, this has become a story that I think everyone knows is a story. Like
it's a story. Yeah. And look, I feel for James in this on a level. There's a point of me that kind of goes, hey, he took this on and he did this. And I agree with you at a point. There's got to be somehow that gets repercussion of doing what he did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But also he's got caught up in something of her bullshit.
Oh.
Where he's had to move away and hide because he doesn't want anything to do with any of this now. No. Like I'm out. Like, yeah. I mean, I do feel for him on a level as well, being involved in this because she's got serious issues in terms of being able to manipulate people. She has a talent in that area to be able to do that.
But then the other thing I think is is part of her talent, the way she looks and the way she,
she uses that. It's part of that histrionic personality disorder that she does that. She uses all what she's got to her advantage and manipulates people to do what she wants and get the sympathy from people. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's just, oh my God.
She's fucking, I think... It's a hard thing to say.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine this happening to me. But
no. She's definitely one out of a box.
But what I'm saying is she needs to not be around her children. She needs to not be around people who are impressionable.
I do agree. I do think that she, at best, having the visitation that she has, knowing so her kids know, yes, that's my mum and that's who she is and understanding her.
Yeah.
But at this point in their lives, I don't think there really is more that should have to do with her. As adults, they can then choose later on what kind of relationship they want to have with her because I think they're going to need to be careful about those relationships they have with her.
Yes.
If Keith is as a good man as maybe he is, I don't know, he will get them a lot of help to deal with that.
I hope they're getting help.
Yeah.
I can't I don't know. Keith, to me, is problematic in and of his
varying
own right.
opinions of him. I don't know. There's something
something that just...
But you'd have to be someone a little bit off-centre, I think,
to
have married her.
Like her. Yeah. But I think he liked the image of her.
Oh, yeah, this is it. I think that's what his
fault is in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a thought of what his life was going to be, and it's not what ended up happening at all. Yeah.
Even Sherri's sister says that Sherri has always just wanted attention.
Yeah.
The quote from her is, I think she wasn't getting the attention that she wanted being at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think she just really wanted to feel important.
Yeah.
She always has.
Yeah.
That's from her own sister. That's a direct quote.
And look, I'm not stupid in thinking that she's not born this way. This is something that has gone on in her childhood to create this, but she is now an adult and therefore she is responsible for her actions.
Definitely.
I do think that obviously there was trauma in her childhood that has created someone who desperately needs, attention, negative or positive attention. Like, it doesn't matter what it is as long as it's attention.
Yeah.
Really. At the end of the day, drama is drama and I'll take all of it. Like, but at the same time,
she needs trauma-informed
quite perfect,
care.
Like she's very, very, she's very interesting. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
If only a real psychologist could I say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like you can absolutely say that. That guy gives me the creeps. Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Because to me it sounded like from that original documentary with Keith that it was a female psychologist they were seeing together. But was that the original guy they were seeing?
I believe so. Yeah, I think it was him.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I know, creepy.
Yeah.
It's just a bit creepy. He's a bit creepy. There's something about him.
Yeah.
Just, nah.
Yeah. The thing that makes me the angriest about Sherri Papini, though, is that my default is I always want to believe the victim.
Yep.
And this whole time with watching these documentaries and stuff just makes me so angry because I can't just default to believing her. And it makes me feel not believing her.
Yeah.
But then I feel like, now I'm going to get shat on for believing her, and so I can't believe you.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
it's awful.
I mean, you and we're on the same page on this. We believe women. We believe victims. Of course, that's our default position in 99.9% of cases.
Yeah.
But women like her put a shadow on that, and that's not okay.
No.
Look, and it even makes me question the validity of her claims as a younger woman.
Yeah.
Where did the lies start? I believe there was trauma in her childhood. I do believe that.
But now it's really hard to say
what.
And I think
how severe.
Her dad even said it in the documentary, saying that in the future, if anything happens, you're going to need so much evidence to be able to prove anything, because otherwise you're always going to be the liar. And it's so true, because I literally read those comments about her, about this other guy. He could be the biggest dirtbag going around doing nasty shit to her. Do I believe her or him? I believe him.
Yep.
Because of the past, you learn from what people's past behaviour is.
That's right.
And
Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Oh, God. Make me vomit.
The best prediction of future behaviour is past behaviour.
It annoys me that he actually says stuff that's true.
It's true, yeah.
And amongst all the shit. Oh, God. So that's just, it's so frustrating. She's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think let's leave it there because we could go on all day about all of that.
Yeah. Chat to us in the socials.
Please, I'm so curious to know what people think.
Yeah.
And if you've watched both documentaries, where do you land?
Yeah.
I want to know where people land, because I can actually see potentially how people could have varying opinions on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let us know. Please let us know.
Yeah.
Please let us know.
Tell me how you came to that different conclusion.
Yes.
I'm
Do you know
intrigued.
what case we're doing next week?
We're doing the Grunow family murders.
Oh, the Greenall family massacre. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh,
Yes.
I'm a bit excited about that. That'll be fun.
It will be. It'll be very interesting.
Well, maybe not fun. Interesting.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
I haven't looked at that since I think it happened. So
same, actually.
be interested to go back to it and have a look at
get
all
into
that.
a deep deep dive.
For sure.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Please go and join us over on TikTok just to make Meg feel better.
Yeah.
And
not just talking into the abyss.
Not preaching to no one. Thank you for joining us for our second episode of 2026, and we look forward to everything else that this year's going to bring.
Yay. Stay curious, Crime Besties.
Bye.
I think every time I've seen you for probably 3 months, I go home and go, I didn't say it to her again. Really, really important.
I'm nervous.
Real Housewives of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You said to me so long ago, watch the reunion. It's like jaw dropping, like, you know. Yes, it is. Holy shit. When she says they were having the affair, the two of them. Oh my God.
I know.
I literally was like, because, you know, I'm up so late that I was watching it and I'm going, holy fuck. Holy fuck. And I literally typed out a message to you, like, writing stuff, and then went, she's going to be asleep. It's after 8 p.m. Lesbian affair. I knew it was happening. Oh, my God.
How good is it?
Oh, my God. It was so long ago, but I'm like, I have to tell her.
I know. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like, damn her going to bed so early. It's my housewife's time and I can't gossip with her.
I love it.
Oh, my God.